Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. All rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to adopting our agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt tonight's agenda?
Madam President,
Amy,
I move that tonight's agenda be adopted as printed and placed on file.
thank you. Is there support?
Support.
I think I heard Todd. Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to our consent agenda. Is there any board member who would like to have a consent agenda item removed and acted on separately? Seeing none, can I get a motion for tonight's consent agenda?
Madam President,
Buckle?
I move that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Thanks, Amy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you. We've reached our first public commentary for agenda items only. Anyone from the public care to make any comments? Okay, seeing no one, we will go ahead and move on to our board correspondence. Griffin is out, excused. Carl, do you know of any correspondence?
Sorry, none that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to our Board of Education reports. Bedford Township Government, Amy Bissell is excused. Sorry, Carl, anything from, I'll defer to you on.
No, nothing new to report.
Okay, Bedford Township Park Board, nothing?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
All right, Michigan Association of School Boards, Megan is also excused, nothing there. Policy Committee, yes, Policy Committee.
Yes, we have engaged our attorney to help rewrite a couple of our policies. As soon as we have those returned to us, we will hold a meeting and work on the Neola policies in addition to the current policies that Collins and Blaha will be adjusting.
Okay, thank you. And the Monroe County Association of Board of Education, Amy.
Nothing to report.
Of course, thank you. All right, we will move on to our superintendent's items, and I'll turn the floor over to you, Carl.
Yes, thank you. My first item this evening is for the nomination for MASB 2025 Delegate Assembly. Traditionally, this is a board member that hopefully can attend the MASB fall assembly, and I believe Amy Drehorst has acted in that capacity several times recently, and I'm hoping that she would also accept the nomination for tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I get a motion for the nomination for MASB 2025 Delegate Assembly?
Madam President,
Todd,
I move that the Board of Education nominate Amy Drehorst for the 2025 MASB Delegate Assembly as recommended.
thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Thanks, Cole. Any discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote. Amy Bissell is excused. Amy Drehorst?
Yes.
Cole?
Aye. Oh, yes.
Yes. Todd?
Yes.
Megan is excused. Griffin is excused. The chair votes yes, and the motion carries. Thank you. Thanks, Amy. Appreciate you.
Thank you. The next item I have this evening is actually just an overview or discussion item. We have been working as a team on identifying a new visitor management program for the district, and after reviewing several different options, we have isolated Raptor Technologies as the program we'd like to adopt and move forward with. It does fall under the board threshold, so I'm not asking for an approval, but I did want to just kind of introduce it to the community and the board. This is a new system that will be housed in each of our main offices at the district, and it's actually quite useful, and it's seamless when it's up and running. And what it'll do is anyone that is coming to volunteer in a classroom or chaperone an event can come in and scan their license, and they will be immediately printed a sticker ID badge with a photo on it. And when they scan their license, it checks against the National Sex Registry list. And that would be the new first layer is what we're proposing. Currently, if somebody comes in to read into a classroom, we don't have a mechanism to check that individual. We use iChat for chaperoning. We use iChat for chaperoning. iChat is a wonderful tool, but it does take somebody to physically do it, to scan the license and put it in. It also requires, it also only monitors the state of Michigan. So it's a free service, but it only monitors Michigan. Raptor technology, as I mentioned, for anyone who's doing a one-time volunteering or chaperoning an event, would come in, scan it. It would check against the federal the sexual offender database, and then they would be printed a badge. If there's an issue and it's an alert that comes up, it would be a silent alert that would go to the administrator, and he or she would, pull that individual to the side, have a conversation, and move forward appropriately. But even with iChats, over 99% of our iChats are approved right away. But this should streamline that process. We're looking at events like Dad's Day at MRE, where we have 300 plus dads that come in. This system allows us to create a link for an actual activity. So if we're doing Dad's Day at MRE, we can create a link for that event and send that out to all the dads at MRE who might want to be attending. They would go in, they would just click on the link. It would have them take a photo of their license, upload it, and it would check them right from home. And then it would create a master list for us. So we think that this is a great direction to move for the security of our buildings. And then the second tier of visitors or volunteers that we would be putting through this to the next level of background checks would be for any volunteers that are coming into our buildings or our district on a regular basis or attending an overnight event chaperoning. So not just a one-time, to the zoo or to the baseball game type event. This is if you're going to band camp or fifth grade camp or anything like that. And then that would check against the federal database for sex offenders, as well as criminal database. And it will give us a much stronger background check on those individuals. It will be also for any volunteer coaches or volunteer robotics coaches or mentors. They would come through. So we should be able to handle a much larger volume in a quicker manner. The program is, it does require some hardware for the building, so we're going to be waiting for that to come in. We expect it to be up and running sometime at the beginning of October. So we'll continue with our former program until then, but once we get the hardware in, we will roll it out to our families and let them know. If you're coming in just to sign your child out and you're not walking to the building, you won't need to scan your license. You still have to show your license to make sure you're the adult that's tied to that child, but you're not going to have to show it for a background check. And there is a second component, actually there's multiple components, but there's another level to this system that we are investigating. Last year we did add panic buttons to all of our main offices. These are lockdown buttons that when there is an emergency, the button is pushed, the exterior doors to the safe vestibule are automatically locked, or if it's during passing time in the beginning or end of school, the doors will lock that are electric strikes. And once that happens, that system immediately contacts 911. It alerts the authorities and first responders. It also has flashers in all the classrooms and hallways, as well as an audible announcement that says we're in a lockdown situation. They have a portion of the Raptor system that is a staff badge or a classroom badge that is digital, has a button on the back. If you push it, I think twice, it will alert the main office there's an issue. If you push it several times in an emergency, it will lock down the building automatically, and then it will feed right into our system. So Jay Daisley, our IT supervisor, has worked with the company to verify that their system does work with our current hardware that we have, our speaker system, our flashers, and our lockdown components. It does, so we're looking to get a quote for that component as well. So just one more layer of safety and security that instead of having one per building, now we would have that based on the number of classrooms we have. So I should be bringing more information about that once we get a verified quote back.
Good, thank you, sounds great. Any further discussion from the board?
Carl, maybe you said it and I just
Yeah.
zoned out for a second about year-long callback?
Yeah, so the first layer of the Raptor system, when you're just volunteering once a semester, it's just gonna be that 1-day pass. If you are an individual that is in a program like robotics, where you're gonna be doing it for 6 months potentially, or band boosters, or you're a PTO like Amy Bissell at the junior high, and you're there on a regular basis in the book sales or whatnot. You then do it's a higher tier of a background, and that's the one that has the federal criminal background checks. But it also has a component that, much like our fingerprints for professional staff members, it is a wraparound service. So if you get arrested, if you do it in September, and you only have to do it once a year, once every 12 months, but if you were to get arrested in October, or the next following month, or 6 months down the road, it does send an alert to us, and we would know, then we could then remove you from the list if you were precluded. So it makes our HR department's job significantly more streamlined. That wrap back service is really important, because that's how the state of Michigan does with teachers and staff members. If we were to be arrested, we would get an alert, weeks later, that one of our staff members is going, and then we can call them in and work on them. But so this would allow us to not have to do it monthly or weekly. We do it one time, but there is a fee to that one, which we've incorporated into the cost of doing business.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate the overview.
Mhm.
All right, seeing no other comments from the board, we'll move on to our financial items and adult meal price increase. Is that you, or is it Kristen?
I'll do this one.
Okay.
Every year, the state releases a pricing guide that we have to follow for adult meal pricing. And this year, the cost has increased, so we need to increase our prices that we are charging. So it is recommended that we increase the adult breakfast by 5 cents to $3.15, and the adult lunch by 10 cents to $5.35.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a motion for the consideration to approve the increase of adult meal prices?
Madam President,
Amy?
I move that the Board of Education approve the adult meal price increase for 25-26 as recommended.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Thanks, Todd. Any discussion? Chrissy, but not related to this. Can you just give the status on student lunches with are we going into this year with any, or maybe Carl has?
I'll go ahead and give it.
Okay.
So it's not tied to this portion, but
Right, yeah.
as I sent out a letter earlier late last week, I believe, regarding the state of Michigan budget. As of today, there is no approved state budget for K-12 or general for the state of Michigan. The statutory deadline, without penalty, is that it's passed and signed by July 1st each year, and the fiscal year starting October 1st. However, since the funding for school lunches was tied to the previous year's budget, it will end at September 30th. So unless the new budget is approved, that includes the universal free lunches and breakfasts for the students, it would discontinue on October 1st.
Okay.
I've continued to say, if we do our jobs and continue to show how important it is for our families, and I know the Superintendent Association's K-12 Alliance that we're all part of, we have been advocating, actually put out a poll this week, and the results of the poll were overwhelming that the state of Michigan parents are in support of continuing to fund our lunches. So the governor has been touting this program all week long through Twitter and other sources of social media. I would find it hard to believe that our governor she would sign a bill that did not include it. I have been wrong before, but I do believe that it is on the radar of every legislature. I know a legislator, they're hearing about it. I know some of our parents have already contacted, because I've heard from their offices. Thank you for the letter. It's just one of these. We're playing politics right now with school kids, and it doesn't sit right with myself and my colleagues, but I do think they will get a budget completed. The last time the state shut down, it was for about 5 hours. It shut down at midnight, it was open by 7 a.m. So I think they'll get a budget done. Out of the process that normally happens is that the House and the Senate both create their own budget, and then they put it forward, and then the governor's office creates her budget or his budget, depending who it is, and then they begin the reconciliation process between the three. They have not done that at all this year. The reason being is that, as I mentioned, playing politics, it's been tied to road funding, the road funding package, which everyone seems to want to get done, but not have an idea how to fund it correctly. And it's been said to us that without support for the road funding package, it's not likely to get a state budget completed. At some point, they're going to have to figure it out, because while Bedford is in, I will say, very, very secure financial status, many districts cannot afford to go a single pay 1 month so we don't get paid in the month of September, just so we get our state aid payments each month except for September, and then we get our October payment. So if we don't have a budget in September, that's okay, because we're not going to get a payment until October. But come October 1st, if there's no budget in place, the districts that are sitting really close to that break-even point, or even lower, are probably not going to be able to open their doors. We would open our doors and we would fund our programs for at least a month, and then we'd have to reconsider. If this were to go on in some situation where they were just going to lock it down, we would eventually, as a district, keep our learning doors open, but we would have to look at other programs, and we would have to shut down ancillary programs as necessary. But again, that would be very unexpected. My biggest concern right now is not that they won't get it done. My biggest concern is that they're going to get it done at the 12th hour, and it's going to be thrown together, and it's not going to be done right, and it's going to hurt students, and it's going to hurt staff. So we are going to continue to advocate for them to do it earlier than the last minute and try to use the money, because even though the economy has shifted somewhat, the financials for the school aid fund are there. There's enough money to give us $400 plus per student across the board, and continue all the categoricals like transportation, declining enrollment, universal lunches. The money is there to do all that. The problem is that they're tying it right now to the roads package to see who blinks first. Well, I think it'll get done. I just want to make sure that we get it done in a respectable hours so that we can make appropriate plans. But as of right now, we will start school with it. But if there's no budget signed by September 30th, we will not be able to continue it. And if they do create a budget that doesn't have it, we also will not be able to create it. Our own district cost last year is over $2.4 million for universal lunches. That would eat away any security we have extremely quickly.
Okay. All right, thank you. Appreciate the extra explanation. All right, then we'll go ahead and move on with the roll call vote. Amy Bissell is excused. Amy Drehorst?
Yes.
Cole?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Megan excused. Griffin is excused. The chair votes yes, and the motion carries. Thank you. And looks like we'll move on to our instructional items.
Thank you. I just wanted to give you a brief update of data. Planning to come back once MSTEP is released, we're hoping next week. Come back in the fall and give you a more detailed update. But this shows you our fast bridge in a report I've showed you before. But the main thing I wanted you to see, if you look all the way to the right in what Annette shared with you, for the first time, all 3 elementary schools hit a growth percentile over 60, which I'll explain why that's significant. So a growth percentile is showing how much the group, in this case, the entire school, was growing over the course of the year. And typical growth, absolute typical growth would be a score of 50. 40 to 60 is the range of typical growth. So that means all 3 elementary schools pushed into that above 60 range, which shows they're growing better than you'd expect for that particular group. So that's great. That's a test to their great work they've been doing in mathematics over the last few years, and they're beginning to sustain that growth, as you can see, over the years. And in parentheses, a few years ago we started to compare it to the pre-COVID achievement. You can see how much better they're doing than they were pre-COVID, the 2019 numbers. So we're encouraged by that. They've done a lot of focused work in their PLCs, their teams, and also with their instructional coach and coaches to get there. So we're excited to sustain that and even see it go higher as they continue to work on that. And in reading, they held their own. I think if you look at the 24-25 numbers, they were implementing an entirely new set of materials this year, as you know, and that's a big project to take on. So, if anything, what I think you see, if there's a little dip there, it's kind of an implementation dip as they get acclimated to the new materials. But we do know and have confidence that they have a wonderful set of materials, both for early literacy and now for all the way through grade 5. And we know that that is going to be similar to math as they continue to work on it in their teams. So excited about the work they're doing, and we'll come back, as I said, in the fall with some more detailed updates for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll move on to our personnel items.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a few items tonight for consideration. The first is consideration to approve BEA new hires. The first is special education instructor at the senior high school, Matthew Phillips. B is special education instructor at the junior high school, Elizabeth Mishakowski. C, English instructor at the senior high school, Charlie Poor. D, health PE instructor at the junior high school, Summer Vanny. And E, fourth grade instructor at Jackman Road Elementary, Michaeline Mante.
Okay, thank you. Been busy. Can I get a motion for the consideration to approve the BEA new hires?
Madam President,
Amy?
I move that the Board of Education approve the BEA new hires A through E as listed below as recommended. Special education instructor at the senior high school, Matthew Phillips. Special education instructor at the junior high school, Elizabeth Michikowski. English instructor at the senior high school, Charles Poor. Health and PE instructor at the junior high school, Summer Vanny. And fourth grade instructor at Jackman Road Elementary, Michaeline Manti.
Thank you, Amy. Is there support?
Support.
Thanks, Todd. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. And as you can read from those endorsements, those are very difficult positions to fill. We're
Yeah, fantastic.
doing better than most. The second item for consideration tonight is the consideration to approve special education apprentice instructor Stephen Monk. And what this is a little bit of an uncharted pathway for us. This is through a company called Talent Together. They partnered with the Michigan Department of Education, and they are seeking special education instructors. And so we have agreed to work with both Stephen, who used to be a paraprofessional for us actually here in Bedford, and then moved on to the ISD, and is coming back, and he's going to work with Andrew Muck at the junior high. He will be his mentor, and think of it as a year-long student teaching placement with pay. So that's what the state's doing to incentivize special education teachers today. After his 1 year of internship, he will become a fully certified Michigan teacher, and he will be contracted to stay with us for at least 5 years here in Bedford schools for participating in this program. Yeah, and he's doing summer work for us as well. So this is a great thing. It's a great way for the state to find unique and creative ways to certify previously uncertified teachers, and it helps us. These are our most critical positions to fill. So win-win-win.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Can I get a motion for the consideration to approve the special education apprentice instructor?
Madam President,
Todd?
I move that the Board of Education approve the special education apprentice instructor at the junior high school, Stephen Monk, as recommended.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Thanks, Cole. Any discussion? Other than awesome. I mean, I think this is such a great opportunity, and I appreciate how much work you put into finding those special education instructors. So that seems like you said, a win for all of us. So
Thank you. Our whole team. Yeah, it's our principals, it's such a collaborative effort to try to secure these spots. So but this is the alternative pathway to certification has been, I think, the reason behind our success in filling all these positions. Even as we talked about, Ms. Shakowski and Mr. Phillips are both on a path to alternative certification for their special endorsements as well. So shout out to Shelley Hayes from HR and all of our principals, the whole district really finding the most creative ways possible. I remember, I get a lot of third-party emails, and when Talent Together sent us an email, Dr. Schultz even forwarded the same email because we both received it. He said, make this happen. So we are all working together on this.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, seeing no other comments, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and the motion carries. Thank you.
All right, and my third and final consideration is to approve the BEA retirements. First is special education instructor at the junior high school, Mr. Jim Lipinski. Mr. Lipinski's retirement would be effective October 1st, and he has served Bedford Public Schools since 1997. The second is social studies instructor at the high school, Mr. Brian Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson's retirement will be effective on January 1st, so he will start the year and work most of the first semester for us. Retire at the end of the calendar year, and he's been with the district since 1995. And part C is health and PE instructor at the junior high school, Mr. Michael Hennessy, whose retirement is effective from July 1st. And he started with the district back in 1994. So we have, between these three teachers, over 90 years of service to the Bedford Public School community. It's pretty impressive.
That's awesome. Okay, thank you very much. Can I get a motion for the consideration to approve the BEA retirements?
Madam President,
Cole?
I move that the Board of Education approve the BEA retirements A through C as listed below as recommended. A, special education instructor at the junior high school, Jim Lipinski. B, social studies instructor at the senior high school, Brian Ferguson. And C, health and PE instructor at the junior high school, Mike Hennessy.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Thanks, Amy. Any discussion? Seeing none, well-deserved. A lot of years of education and service. Appreciate that. Seeing no other, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and the motion carries. Thank you. And we have reached our second public commentary. Would any of the audience like public commentary at this time? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to our announcements. And I don't think, we don't have any, nobody's here other than here, us board.
No, it's just us.
Okay.
No, but I will just, I will talk briefly about communication and the adoption of the new Parent Square platform that the district will be moving to for our main communication tool. We are very excited about this option. It will take place and replace a number of, I think we counted 14 different communication tools that are used across the district currently. And that can span from Schoology to Huddle to the Band app to Game Changer for baseball, Remind 101, just a number of WhatsApp, depending on which club you're with. This will replace all of those, and we will be able to build out groups within this program. It functions a lot like a messaging app for parents, so it's very familiar if you look when you download the app. And we will be sending instructions early next week to do that. Once we roll it out to our staff on Tuesday morning, we'll then roll it out to our families. But very simple to use, very intuitive. It archives all of the data, any of the messages or letters. My school closings will go through it. It will really be a one-stop shop, including calendars, and it will probably take the place of the brand new app that we rolled out as part of our website, to be honest with you, because it has all that information already at your fingertips. Parents with students that have multiple students. I know Griffin mentioned something last week, and then he was able to see what his would look like. You just click on the different student you have, and then all of their contacts, direct contacts populate. It's pretty nifty, actually. I currently use it in my daughter's district. Parent Square is used to service over half the students in all of America, so it's a very popular program. It's gaining a lot of popularity in the Midwest, but it's been in California, the East Coast, and the South for quite a while. So, and they did purchase Remind recently, so we're looking at getting that up and running, and we will have that ready for day one. But as teachers become more and more familiar with it, and as parents do, I think the evolution of the utilization will increase pretty rapidly. But we are really excited about this tool because it's been a long time coming. Right now, we just have so many options, and we're limited because of all the different groups we have. But now we can create it, and so Corey Meggett will have a marching band group. He will have an orchestra group. He'll be able to have different groups besides his classes built into his. And if you are in one of those groups, you'll see that as one of your options too, to contact a either contact the group or contact the individual. And the nice thing is it's all archived. It's much like our Gmail accounts. We can, as administration, go in and pull any of that data and review any messages that went out. So it really does protect our families, protect our staff, and protect our district. So we're excited about it.
Awesome, thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, then we'll start over here with Alex.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about Raptor Technologies and the Parent Square app that's coming. It's been a big lift for our team, a big part of all of our lives for the last couple months, and it's nice to see everything come to fruition. Really appreciate the board support, the cabinet support. We've all been helping out a lot with that. Finalizing staffing, onboarding. Everyone's just working really hard to prepare for the new year. 90% of the staff walk out of here in June, and 10% of us hang around. And I'm just so impressed with the work that such a small group of people have been able to accomplish. Just shout out to Tom's team, that summer help team, and the special projects team. They've worked so hard this summer to make everything ready for the kids to come back in a couple weeks. Jason Sanderson, Trish Gentile have worked so hard on that website. The technology team, the registration team, Mark's department. I made a list. Summer camps, academics, summer school. So many people have worked hard. Our administrators, our athletic departments, all brand new, and they're all in new roles and working really well together. And then my team over in HR, I know they watch these meetings, so I want to give them a personal shout out to Sally Lucarelli and Pam May and Shelly Hayes. They've worked so hard. Weekends, they're texting me on Saturdays. We're here in the office. We want to get this onboarding done so that this teacher can start on time so that they're ready for open house. That's the commitment of Bedford Public Schools. And so just want to give everybody that really important shout out. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Dr. French?
Thank you. Yeah, I would echo that. In the turnout we had for PLC Institute this summer, we had a wonderful time. August 6th through 8th, 40 of us were there. Every building well represented, and the Institute is always a great event. I told the group though, I felt like this Institute was really pivotal for us in moving us to the next phase of the work in PLCs, like going deeper into it, really increasing the impact of their work. And I think they're ready for it. We've welcomed new teachers this week, so new teachers have been taking part in several workshops to get ready to begin on the first day. Elementary teachers especially have had a rigorous week. They've had a math workshop today. They've had a couple of Wit and Wisdom, the new ELA materials workshops. They'll be with our reading specialists tomorrow, so they've had a big week. I know that the secondary teachers were meeting in their buildings for a workshop on Tuesday, junior high and high school both. And then all the new teachers will be with me Monday for what we call our new teacher induction day. So what is Bedford Public Schools all about? What's our mission and vision? What are PLCs? They have a BEA provided breakfast, so they get time with the BEA leadership for a few minutes and introductions. And then all of their mentor teachers and principals join us for a luncheon. So it'll be a big day, and then everybody's back next Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're excited for keynotes and work on the new safety features. So it's an exciting time to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. One quick question, how many new staff will be in attendance at that meeting?
We have 19 new
19.
staff. We actually have is it okay to say a 20th one? But it's.
Oh, yeah, it'll be on the next agenda. But
I'll be on the next agenda.
Yeah. Yeah, but you
So-
can, yeah.
Yeah, so we do have a staff member returning to us as a math coach, so wouldn't be in the activities of the new teachers, but it's definitely a new position
New
for us
position,
that will
okay.
be exciting at the junior high, so.
Nice,
Yeah.
19, impressive,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to Tom.
Yes, I would like to just thank the board for the resources and everything to get a lot of projects done this summer. We had a great staff, a number of summertime workers, bus drivers, paras, or college kids, or current students that did a great job. I would like another month, so if we could delay the start of school, I could get more stuff done, but I
We
don't
might
think
have
that's
a
gonna
revolt.
happen. So, no, it's been a great busy summer, and I'm looking forward to the new year.
Awesome, buildings look great, thank you. And Chrissy?
We have a lot going on in the business office right now. It's a busy time of year, but I'll start with the staff change. We have a new payroll secretary, Liz Daisley. She just started a couple weeks ago, but she started at a busy time when we're inputting new contracts for the start of the school year. She's doing a great job, so I welcome her to the business office. We are well into our audit preparations. The auditors will be on site this year for 3 days, and then they will complete their field work remotely. We're also preparing for our annual workers' comp audit, which will be the first week of September. And then the second week of September, I'll be attending the MDE workshop, where normally we would discuss the state budget. So hopefully they have a state budget for us to discuss. And that's what we're dealing with right now.
Okay, thank you. I'm beginning to think that the Michigan construction season coincides with the school auditing, and it's just always, it feels like you're constantly in that mode, so thank you for that. And Dr. Schultz?
Just reiterate what all of my cabinet have said. Just thanks to all the summer help and the teaching staff, the professional staff, our ancillary staff that have been coming in and just, I could tell everybody's excited about the new upcoming year. And unlike Tom, I'm ready to start Monday, so if anyone wants to come early, they can come on Monday. It's been a long summer. It seems like it was short, but when kids aren't in the buildings, it just changes the feel of the district. I'm glad we have the time to prepare and get everything ready, but and we still have a little bit of work to do. However, we're ready. We're ready for our families to come back in and see all the great changes and to see our staff back in the classrooms and in the lunchrooms, on the buses, and ready to go.
And how is enrollment looking for this year?
Enrollment, we budgeted for a reduction of 50 students. We are, Alex just gave me a really recent update. We're getting pretty close to that number. It was looking a little questionable, our budgeting, but we're usually pretty dead on, and I'd say right now we're within 10 students of our budget. Just a reminder, we budgeted at a 0% dollar increase per pupil and a loss of 50 students. Boy, I've been wrong, but I hope we get at least $1 increase. and I think we're gonna be right around 50 to 60 students down. So they are coming in fast and furious at this point. It's the old adage, waiting to the kindergartners waiting till the bus rolls by. We're doing a much better job of getting our students in earlier and earlier so that they're prepared. And if anyone's questioning, school does start on Tuesday the 2nd. So if anyone hasn't registered yet, we are accepting, and we've been doing night sessions. I mean, the staff has been going above and beyond to do whatever we can to meet our families where they're at. So once again, we got a great team, and we're excited to get going.
Awesome. Go ahead, Dr. Grant.
Dr. Schultz just reminded me of one thing. The elementary principals really put their heads together back in the spring. There's been a desire for a long time to see if we could screen every incoming kindergarten student. That hasn't been the case before, but they came up with a way to do it. So they had the normal screening in June. It was a little bit of a beefed up team for that, and then each building had one person throughout the summer that would screen kids as they came in. So pretty much they've screened 100% of the new kindergarten class, and that makes it much better for class placements. So kudos to them.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Cole.
I just wanted to say thank you to Tom's team and everybody's on Tom's team, man. The projects this summer have been going really, really well, and they're really, really cool to watch everything that's been happening. I wanted to congratulate all the new hires and all the retirees, especially Mr. Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, growing up, my mom was a junior high teacher, so having friends and relationships in the school like that, Mr. Ferguson was one of my mom's close friends, and so growing up, we got our dog, Ellsworth, Ellsworth the dog, from him. So I always thank Mr. Ferguson for that, and always the board game club, just giving me a place to always come and enjoy after school, and being so kind and being so caring to everybody, and just being an inviting voice for everybody in our schools. So I can't thank him enough, and I'm super excited for the new year coming up. Thank you.
Thanks, Cole. Amy?
Again, thank you to, everybody's team. You all worked so hard in the summer, and it's mostly behind the scenes, and I don't think people have, the grasp of just how hard you're all working and your teams are working over the summer. So it's very much appreciated. It's what allows school to lift off every September in such a strong way. it's exciting to see the streamlining of communication and the additional safeguards that are gonna go along with that and the Raptor system. But as long as we're talking about safety and everything, this is a good time to also talk about the new signs that we have for school zones. Those are installed. Thank you to Tom's team. I saw that in action, them being installed in action as I drove by one day, and then I, got my little monitor of how fast I was going as I went by the other day. So they are up and they are working. And then a reminder to everybody that the buses will be rolling, and so pay attention to those stop arm signs and the flashing lights. And there is not a road in Bedford that is exempt from you stopping when the lights are flashing. So watch out for our kiddos. We don't want any tragedies. And I'm just excited for a great new year to start.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy. Todd?
Also excited for the year to start. Congratulations, or thank you for the added effort. I like the Raptor system idea. Anything we can do to safeguard the kids. The idea to apprentice teachers, apprentice special education teachers as another pathway. Anytime we can add pathways to get to employment is great. And also the congratulations to the retirees, but we also have another 87 graduate that's retiring, like Hennessy.
Thanks, Todd. And I'll just close by saying I appreciate the attention and the focus on safety too. I think that's just when we have the opportunity to focus on safety, I think that and communicate it and talk about it and have great programs that are easy to use for families to engage in. I just think that that's just another awesome things that Bedford Public Schools offers. And Amy, I'm glad you brought up the signs, right? So everyone should be seeing. I've personally had a couple of texts saying, does that take a picture and is that reported?
Yes,
Because the
yes,
school bus, yes, that's exactly what I say. Of course it is. So if that's on and it's during school, I appreciate, Tom, all the work it took to get it in, because it gives people a chance a couple weeks before school starts as a reminder to be like, oh. And I heard great feedback in terms of, the one at Stearns and Seacourt, people say, I do slow down when I approach it because I want to beat it.
You're seeing a lot of brake lights.
Yeah, yep. So that's fantastic. I know, again, we want to keep everyone as safe as possible. So great appreciation for that. All right. So with that being said,
Lisa,
yeah, go ahead.
just remind everybody that we lost the custodian, Robert Manley. He was a good worker. He's going to be missed.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right.
I have another item.
Go ahead.
On the closed session. This evening, typically we run our meeting videos to the end of the evening. However, our last agenda items for this evening are going to be consideration for a closed executive session under section, it's under somewhere, Section 8H of the Open Meetings Act, allowing the district to enter executive session for matters pertaining to attorney-client privilege. So with that being said, once we approve to go into closed session, we will turn the video feed off. We have no actionable items or discussion items afterward. So we're just going to cut the meeting off there. When we return from closed session, we will open up the open meeting again, and then we will immediately adjourn for the evening. So there's nothing being missed. I just wanted to clarify why it's not running until adjournment.
Sounds good.
So we will need a motion for the next closed session.
Sounds good. Okay. With that being said, can I get a motion for the consideration to go into closed session?
Madam President,
Amy?
I move that the Board of Education go into closed session pursuant to Section 8H of the Open Meetings Act to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute, such as matters pertaining to the attorney-client privilege as recommended.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Thanks, Cole. Any discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote. Amy Bissell is excused. Amy Drehorst?
Yes.
Cole?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Megan is excused. Griffin is excused. The chair votes yes, and the motion carries. Thank you. So are we going to go into closed session, or are we going somewhere else?
Since the meeting will be over, I would like to just do it here.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and get everything gathered out. We'll clear out our guests for the night, and then we'll begin closed session.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming, everyone.